I remember when I was in high school or out of high school, and I was pursuing a relationship, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do. So I remember going online and looking up, how to attract the ladies, and this was my introduction to the pickup artist culture. And I didn't really like what I was reading. I didn't like what I was seeing because to me it was all manipulative and it was scummy, slimy. Like, ignore the woman, she'll love you more, and all this stuff. Pretty much they all gave the same advice. I mean, other than look good and shower, you had to ignore the woman for some time because if you didn't, then the woman would see you as annoying and clingy. And this is all true, right? I'm not denying any of this stuff, but this was my introduction to that. And I remember people online saying that this was amazing, that this is just brilliant advice. And I remember just people in the comment sections of these videos would say, "Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. You're really helping me." Now I look at the same types of videos, they're coming out on YouTube and on Instagram, and I've noticed a dramatic shift in the comment sections. I've noticed that a lot more people are saying that it's not worth it to waste your time in such things. It's not worth your time to play these games with women to get them to fall in love with you. And they're saying it's just it's all just a waste of time. Women are a waste of time. It's all a waste of time. And I've noticed this more and more. And they're saying, I'm MGTOW or I'm red pill. My cat wants to. A lot more men are saying that all this pickup artist stuff or this all these videos about the art of seduction is nonsense because it's a waste of time, even if what they're saying is true, right? That you have to ignore the woman sometimes to get her to fall in love with you, because if you don't, then you're going to annoy her. Even all that stuff is it's not being embraced as much as it used to be, because what's happening, and this is my guess, what's happening is that all the men who were watching these videos when they were in their early 20s and when they were in their late teens, they're now in their 30s. And they've gone through a bunch of experiences. They've had at least one negative experience, or they've had a number of negative experiences with the softer gender, and they say it's not worth it. Even when you play the game right and you get the girl, then you have to deal with all of the nonsense and all the drama that follows the beginning of the relationship, that comes subsequent to you winning her over. And so there's been a big shift I've noticed in the zeitgeist of romantic interests. Another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of let's be more specific, a lot of men on the internet have expressed a negative view on the film Titanic. Remember the movie Titanic? It came out in the 90s. I remember seeing it in theater. It was the biggest film ever, made $1 billion. It was a huge, huge success. Well, I always hated that movie. I always hated that film. And I remember when I was in high school talking to other classmates, I would say, I really hate that film. And I remember I was on the school bus one afternoon. We were going home from school, and we were talking about the Titanic. And I said, I really hate that movie, the Titanic. And this one girl said, "Well, why do you hate that movie so much?" And she was shocked that somebody would hate this film, because I guess to them the Titanic is a masterpiece that should never be questioned or should never be negatively reviewed. But I gave my view on why I don't like the film The Titanic. And I said, I think this film sucks. Because, and again, how old was I at the time? I had to have been 14 or 15 years old at the time. And I said, I think this film sucks. And she asked why. I said, well, think about it. You're on a ship going to America. You are a wealthy man who is with your fiance. You have given your fiance an extremely expensive piece of jewelry. You're taking her to America because Europe is in a poor condition at the time. So you're providing her with a better life, a better opportunity. And after a couple of days of talking with some homeless guy named Jack, she's getting porked by the homeless guy, and she wants nothing to do with you. I said, I hate these characters. I don't mind Cal. Cal is just a guy who wants to do what's right for him, and that's that. He's obviously very upset with Rose, and he hates Jack, and that's understandable. I mean, Jack is some homeless bum who's porking your girl, and you're a guy who's successful, and you have wealth, and you have the resources, and she doesn't care about any of that stuff. She doesn't appreciate any of that stuff. And I explained all this on the school bus. In the school bus is where we had really the serious philosophical questions. We talked about the human condition. We talked about the destiny of mankind. We talked about our aspirations for life. We talked about our goals. We discussed the future. We discussed the past. All of the very deep metaphysical conversations on the human experience were deeply discussed in the school bus. There was so much immense discourse that occurred on the bus. We had panel discussions. We had debates. I had some amazing times in that school bus, let me tell you. And the ride to school was not that long, but the ride back was long. The ride back was almost an hour, about an hour long every time, because you had to drop all these kids off. And plus, campus was quite a long distance from where I lived. But I remember the next day on the school bus, and one of the students started talking to me, and he said, I heard what you said about the Titanic. And upon pondering on what you said about this film, I have to admit that you are absolutely correct. He said, I never thought about it in the way that you described, but after pondering on what you said, I must say that you are right. Rose is indeed a bitch. But you see, at that time, people weren't thinking about these things because they all thought that women can do no wrong, and Rose was amazing, and Cal was an asshole. Cal was a. It's amazing that the type of manipulation that they do in this movie. Cal is the bad guy; he's evil. Jack is the good guy, and Rose is amazing. When the reality is that Rose and Jack are trash, and they're actually meant for each other. I mean, they're perfect for each other. Cal killed himself, which is sad. He shouldn't have killed himself. He should have just went on with his life. But Jack and Rose are perfect for each other because they're both trash. Bottom line. But the amount of manipulation that happened in that film was just amazing, And why was this film such a success? I'll tell you why it was such a success. It was a success because all the women wanted to go see it. Now, why would women want to go see a movie about a woman who cheats on her fiancé getting porked by some homeless guy on a boat? Well, it tells you something about the general condition of women in the world that they would see this movie. There's something wrong with them. Because I watched that movie and I'm like, I'm on Cal's side on this one. Now, women always complain about how men cheat. They always complain, oh, they cheat. Men cheat. Men are cheaters. Right? They're cheaters. But yet they'll watch a movie and they're on the side of the cheater. Well, how the hell does that make any sense? Because women complain more about cheating than men do, right? And supposedly men cheat more than women. I'm not sure if I believe that, but they say that men cheat more than women. So women are always complaining about how men are cheaters, and I got cheated on. He's a dirty cheater, and this guy's a damn cheater. He's cheating. Get his cheating ass out of my house, and cheater this and cheater that. I hear so much about cheating that I just want some Flaming Hot Cheetos. I start having cravings for Flaming Hot Cheetos. But anyway, they're always complaining about cheaters, but yet which film did they all go flocking to see? A movie about a cheater. Rose was a cheater. And they're on the side of the cheater. Hypocrisy much, everybody? It's all craziness, guys. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. So, the fact that so many women wanted to go see this movie. I mean, do you really want to pursue a relationship in an ocean of women who like that kind of movie? It's like if Silence of the Lambs made $1 billion because a bunch of men wanted to go see it. I mean, like, ladies, be careful out there. A lot of weirdos. Women like drama. You know, what does that even mean? What do they like? They like cheating. They like watching people cheat. Are they cucks? That it's just it doesn't mean much. You know, they love drama. Okay. Yeah. They love drama. They like watching people cheat. Yes, there's something wrong with them. You know, and at a very young age, I began to pick up on these things. At a very young age, when I was in middle school, is when I really started to think about these things. Because I noticed when I was in middle school, and this will probably lead me into another topic that I have in mind here. But when I was in middle school, I remember, you know, I would hang out with a bunch of nerds. There was like 4 or 5 guys that I hung out with, and they were all nerds. And I noticed from a distance that the guys that were getting the females were trash. I mean, just trash, right? It wasn't the guys that were intelligent or that liked to read books or whatever. It was like just trash. It was the guys with the earrings. It was the guys who were lowlives. It was the guys who were violent, the guys who were troublemakers. Those were the guys who were getting most of the girls. So at a young age, I began to deduce that this is the way our society is. And going into an adulthood, you know, it changes when you get into adulthood because women mature and I want to go with the nerd now. You know, after getting banged by 7 Shanes, she now wants to get banged by Poindexter. So Poindexter has a chance, you know, later on in life. It does change, but nonetheless, even going into adulthood, these things don't change all that much.